And after listening to the testimony that I was able to hear today, first of all, appreciate you guys being with us this morning. I certainly would not agree that this is just a pat on the back hearing, but I think it's a very important session that we're having this morning. I appreciate that this is a necessary look at where we are today and how we can advance needed energy production while at the same time being as certain as possible to have requirements in place so that industry meets and follows the safety requirements for personnel as well as the environment. So along those lines, just a couple of questions, if I may. And certainly this could be for anyone, but I was thinking perhaps Ms. Hopkins and Mr. Coatney first. First of all, there are timelines involved throughout the offshore energy process, from leasing to exploration to drilling, production, and more. But in the last couple of years, the industry has had to adhere to an ever-growing number of regulations meant to help ensure that production is conducted in the most safe and environmentally responsible manner possible, a goal that clearly everyone shares. Industry, for its part, needs to be certain that it's feasible to meet all the regulatory deadlines before embarking on something as capital intensive as oil offshore production. Without that certainty, it seems the industry will decrease operations in the long run, which would hurt production and have a negative impact on America's energy security. Do you think the timelines contained throughout the statute still give industry enough time to do its job, even in view of the ever-growing number of boxes that need to be checked before operations can happen?
So thank you. Yes, I believe that what is important is that the industry has consistent, predictable, reliable regulatory framework and under which to act and to explore for and develop energy and natural resources.
Yep.
Thank you, Representative. From HWCG's perspective, in well containment being certainly a new advent since 2010, the NTLs as they exist and the opportunity to build the containment consortiums to be able to meet those is very workable, and we are able to continue to develop the necessary components to have an effective and comprehensive response to any containment event.
Thank you very much. Mr. Williams and perhaps Ms. Hopkins as well, the department has just proposed a well control rule that would incorporate the latest industry standards for blowout preventers into federal regulation. It seems the federal government has recognized industry has made some serious changes since the incident in 2010. Can you talk a little bit about what some of those changes are that will be included in the new rules and how they've made systems safer?
Certainly. So we spoke about it, it's in my written testimony as well, is API updated our BOP standard in 2012 to prioritize consistent procedures, preventive maintenance, inspection, and testing. And BSEE does, in the proposed rule, does incorporate, or proposes to incorporate Standard 53 in its entirety into the regulations. That's one example. There are, in addition, there are, I believe it's approximately 11 other, or 10 other documents that are incorporated by reference by BSEE, many of those related to our BOP equipment specifications, as well as some cementing documents and quality documents as well. So yes, we've updated and revised many of our documents and created new documents since the incident.
Thank you.
So I'd like to also mention in there one section is on SIMS, Safety Environmental Management Systems, relative specifically to the blowout preventers. And as I talked about, the SIMS talks about how have you planned, how have you established barriers, what's your plan for maintaining those barriers, keeping them in place and assuring that they exist. So it talks about actually adding, looking at SIMS specifically on the blowout preventers and the long-term plan for how you maintain the barrier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity.